So roughly, I guess 3 weeks after release, I've been playing Nintendo Switch constantly, and I have a lot to say about it. I do want to talk about it, and now this is very difficult because I know a lot of you guys out there aren't convinced, and I get it. I liked the Wii U. When the Wii U came out, I was being positive and I was hopeful for it, and it turned out to be garbage. Nintendo Switch, I'm digging it so much. I play this thing constantly, but there's a lot of problems down the line. There's a lot of hardware issues, but more importantly, there's just issues in terms of the future. So I am hopeful, but what I do really like about the Nintendo Switch is what Nintendo set out to do with it. The fact that they tried to change the way people play a game, the fact that the thing is portable, that it does plug into the TV. I like that a lot. Now, first things first, I got to acknowledge, of course, I did it with Game Ranks before you buy, and I got to do it here. If you are the type of person that is jammed up, that a game is not 4K, 1080p, 60 FPS, whatever, I completely understand. I think that is a big problem here. The fact that it doesn't do that is laughable. But like Nintendo has always been, once you get past that, I think there is still a lot to enjoy here. And I'm going to say, when I play Zelda on my TV and it's barely 1080p, that's disappointing as hell. But the fact that I can also instantly pick it up and walk away with it and keep playing, and it looks good on this thing, that's a trade-off for me that I am okay with. I love the portability factor here. I play it portably a little bit more than I do play it on the TV, and I think it's pretty huge. When it's a portable device, I find it comfortable. It's not the best. My hands get a little cramped, but overall, I think it does the job pretty well. I'm also super into the idea of detaching the Joy-Cons and giving one to each of your friends to play games. I haven't done it a lot because, number one, I don't have a lot of friends. Number two, there's not really a lot to play, and 1-2 Switch is kind of unless you're drunk. But plopping the thing down with the kickstand and then playing it on a table or a plain tray in front of you is really cool. It is a novel thing, and I don't think it's a gimmick. As much as Nintendo relies on gimmicks quite a bit, I don't think this is one. I think this is good, and I think this is a very interesting and different device for that reason. Now, what it really comes down to, of course, though, is the games, and I do think a part of the reason why I'm loving the Nintendo Switch so much is because Zelda is so fucking good. Zelda Breath of the Wild, I have been playing absolutely constantly. I dropped every other single game I'm playing except for Nier Automata, but it's just that engrossing and it's that good, and I've seen a lot of people who just can't comprehend that the game is getting great scores across the board despite being a flawed game, despite being very different when you stack it up to something like Horizon Zero Dawn. I still think it's a really great game. It's a damn good Zelda game that I was extremely worried about when they said that it was adopting modern, conventional game design stuff like towers and open world and just side quests and shit to do. But it still does the Japanese game dev different take on it, which I really, really enjoy. And I think it's one of the better Zelda games I've played in a while. Is it the best Zelda game? Nah, I don't think so. But it's really fucking good. And it's got me playing the Switch constantly. It's got me using amiibos. It's got me playing the Switch on the go and at home. And I think that's good. I think that is probably the best system seller it could be. I will have to agree with Jim Sterling, though. The weapon degradation thing I think is absolutely bullshit. While there's a lot of elements, like loot and other conventional elements there, and cooking, crafting type of things that do work and do fit with the game design. But the inclusion of weapon degradation and the fact that things degrade so quickly just kind of feels like bullshit to me. It just kind of annoys me. Hey, and people say, you just need to get better at the game, Jake. I say, fuck you, because I play Dark Souls and I really like weapon degradation in Dark Souls because it's reasonable and it makes sense for that game. Here, it just doesn't really jive with me. I do like that it pushes me to use other weapons outside my comfort zone, but besides that, it's Zelda. I want to find a weapon, I want to rely on it, and I want to go on a journey with it. But I think that is what Zelda does the best, is the sense of exploration and the reward you get from exploration. The way the shrines are designed, I think, is really cool, especially for the Nintendo Switch, because it advocates for pick up and play mini dungeons, and some of them are really good. Some of them are bullshit, but some of them are so good, and you get that I figured it out moment that is really satisfying, especially when you're just doing pick up and play moments like I have been doing. When I play it on my TV, though, the frame rate can take a shit sometimes when I'm in villages, and that sucks. But other than that, I am completely satisfied with this Zelda game, and I'm just so hooked. I cannot recommend it enough. Even if you do have a Wii U, or if you dig a Wii U out of the garbage to play it, I think you should. That's the thing with the Nintendo Switch, circling back. While I do love this console for a variety of reasons, and I do love the portability of it, dude, I can't tell you to go out and get one unless you're someone like me who either this is it for you, this is all you have, and you spend the money on things and technology, even though it hurts, you still do it because you're excited and you want to try the new thing. It's cool. It's cool. But, of course, there comes the whole thing where there's just not a lot of games for it. And down the pipeline, there is going to be some But even still, the future is murky. You know, after Mario releases in the fall, Super Mario Odyssey, what's really going on? What's going to happen there? I hope the sales figures of this thing pushes Nintendo to do more, but we don't know yet. So for some people, it's hard to take a bet on this thing right now, and I completely understand that. People speculate, and I get it, that it could very well end up like the Wii U, completely abandoned and DOA. But I think the difference between the Wii U and this, for me personally, is the Wii U, I had it, and I had some games for it that were absolutely great. The game would come out, I would get it, I would have a reason to play my Wii U again, I would play it, and I would love it, and then that would be it. But the difference between the Switch having that same thing where games only come out periodically, the difference between the Switch and the Wii U is that the Wii U would collect dust and I'd hate it, but with the Nintendo Switch, I'm going to be looking forward to when a new game comes out that I can play on it, you know? Does that make sense? That probably still sounds stupid. It's not justifying spending $300 on a thing you're only going to use sometimes. But for me, I think I'm just putting a lot of hopes and dreams in it because I'm really hoping it becomes something like the new PlayStation Vita in terms of a portable-ish device that indie developers embrace. The thing's already got Shovel Knight on it, which I have been playing a ton, and I really like that experience. If more indie games do come to the Switch, like Nintendo has been suggesting with their marketing, I'm all about it for that. If this is a good thing to play indie things on, I mean, when it gets Stardew Valley, that I stopped playing Stardew Valley on PC, and I just immediately, I'm like, I'm gonna wait for Switch because I want to play it on that. Again, circling back to, because I like the hardware so much. A couple little things I guess I picked up on from having it for a while now. Battery life hasn't really been an issue for me, even though I've been playing a ton of Zelda. I'm usually always near something charging, or even when I travel to PAX East, the battery life in the card, it didn't really turn out to be as much of a big deal as I thought it would. SD cards are your friend. I didn't have one at first, but I'm really glad I picked one up. Oh, one thing I did want to point out that totally bothers me is the dock itself. It just kind of comes off as a bit of an afterthought. I wish that there was so much more potential there with it in terms of it could have been more useful. It could have made the graphics better. It could have done different things, but it's really just a 3D printed piece of crap, piece of plastic. It feels cheap. It feels like an afterthought. Even when you connect the Switch, it can scratch the screen pretty easily, and I was really disappointed by that. I thought there was a lot more because that's like half of the piece of the Nintendo Switch puzzle, and it seems like they half-assed the second piece a little bit. Just at least in terms of design, you know? I also haven't had any problems with the controller going out of synchronization, as a lot of people have been talking about. It is a serious issue, and you should be aware of it, but mine didn't face any problems, and I play away from a TV, under a blanket, and I didn't lose connection. Also, the fact that the eShop is region-free, you can create a Japanese account and download Japanese games, is totally fucking sweet. Nintendo has never really had anything like that, and I really appreciate it, and I think in the future going forward, it'll just really open up the amount of games you can play on this thing. But that's just how I feel. Sorry, I know a lot of people out there aren't into the Switch, but I am really enjoying it. I'm trying not to shove it in anyone's face, because I know some people just don't want to hear it, but as of right now, with Breath of the Wild, with Shovel Knight, even with playing snipper clips with some friends, I am having an absolute blast with this goddamn little thing. But that's how I'm feeling on the Switch. I am excited for the future of it. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can really go full on with this thing and have a huge stable of games. That would be nice. That would be really nice because it's a good thing. Also, a Switch 2.0 or revision might be something you want to wait around for if you're not into it yet, because they have a lot of things to improve on. But for now, I'm mostly satisfied, and I do want to hear from you guys, whether you picked one up. I do want to know what you're enjoying about it, and if you've picked up on some gripes, I do want to hear those as well. But if you aren't into it, I probably know why, but I tried to come at you pretty reasonable from a positive standpoint, so I do want to know what you think now. I am still sick as a dog, so I'm going to drink a shit ton of NyQuil now, and I'm going to go. But I appreciate you guys coming around here and sitting around and watching me ramble, but as always, I'm Jake Baldino. You can subscribe because video games.